Today we're going to be looking at a placemat, or you could use it as a coaster like I'm going to. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel Kazzalistic, and hi to my new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me. Seem to have had a massive jump in subscribers, so I don't know where you've all come from. So let me know if you've come through from somebody else, because I'm behind on videos. But thank you very much for joining me. So today we're basically getting back to normal after my last couple of update videos. So I'm going to crack on into the crochet bit because that's what you're all here for, and then we'll do the life update at the end. So today we're going to be looking at this. So I'm going to hold it up a bit so you can see it against the cream background. Now this is a Jayda in Stitches pattern. Now hers is actually a placemat. I've actually downsized mine quite a lot. I'm going to use it sort of as a coaster kind of decoration. But it's very pretty. Now I've used a sparkly yarn. I have gone completely off what Jayda has suggested. But I will link Jayda's tutorial. There's a free tutorial. I think the pattern is paid for, which you can get from her Etsy store, but the tutorial is free, so I'm going to link that down below. That's what I've used. So as you can see, there's a little bit of lace work. She does say it's doily inspired, so if you want to have a go at making something in the round, this is a nice little project. It's basically 10, once you've set up your foundation, basically it's 10 rows, so it's nice and simple. I think that's really quite pretty. So like I said, it's Jayda in Stitches placemat tutorial, and I'll link that down in the description. So I'm just going to go through this very quickly because like I said, there's not a lot to it. So you start obviously in the middle with a slip knot, so pretty standard, so you haven't got to worry about doing magic ring with this one. You do a chain, and then you join the chain with a slip stitch, so basically it creates a circle, which is right in there. The first actual starting row, you will actually use single crochets into the circle, so you're going around the circle you've created with the chain, and you slip stitch to join. The second round is 2 half double crochets. This is US terminology, by the way, so single crochets are a UK double, half doubles are a UK half treble. So you're doing 2 in each stitch, half double crochets in each stitch, and that's US terminology. The next round you do a chain 5 to begin, you double crochet in the next stitch, you chain 2, you then double crochet in the next stitch, and you repeat round, which creates this bit here, what you can see right here. So you've got sort of open work there. You then do, just make sure, I'm just going to tick off where I'm going so I don't lose track. Chain 3, 3 double crochet into the chain 2 space from the row before. So we're talking in this bit here, if the camera will focus, so in this bit here. You then double crochet in the next stitch, 3 double crochet into the chain 2 space, double crochet next stitch, and basically repeat. So it's nice and simple. And my pen's not working very well. That's helpful. I've had to jot this down just because it's quite a quick little project, so I had to sort of make some notes. So the next round, you start with a chain 3, you double crochet into the same stitch, you 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, 2 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and repeat around. Okay, next row you chain 5, you skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, and repeat. So again, you'll be making this open work, so you'll be at this point around. The next row, you start with a chain 3, you do 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space, so again you're working into this bit here. Double crochet into the next stitch, this is all US terminology, so it's trebles if you're in the UK, and you repeat all the way round. Next row is a chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch, double crochet, 1 double crochet into the next 5 stitches, and basically the repeat then becomes 2 double crochet into the same stitch, so your next stitch, and 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches, and you repeat round. The next row is double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet into the next 2 stitches, chain 2, double crochet in the next 3 stitches, slip stitch into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, slip stitch, and basically keep repeating that pattern. And the last round, so basically you put that last round that I've just said is creating the basis for the points. And then the last round is US single crochets, which is UK doubles, sorry. So you do 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then in the points, so in this bit here, you'll do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the same space, which is obviously where your point is here. 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and you basically keep repeating that pattern around. So you do 3 single crochets, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and basically round, and it gives you these nice little points. So I hope I've explained that okay. Jayda, if you're watching, I hope that that's not giving too much away. It's always a bit of a balancing act. Jayda does watch me, and we're on good terms. So Jayda's the person that taught me to crochet, basically, through her videos. I love her patterns. I can't speak highly enough of them. They are very, very clear. So if you're a beginner, she's got brilliant tutorials, so I can't recommend her enough. Now, the one thing about this pattern I will say, what I haven't said with each row is you're joining, at the end of each row, you are joining with a slip stitch. Now that basically creates what we call a false stitch. Jayda does take that through with you in the tutorial, which is why I haven't gone into it in depth. But just beware, particularly if you're a newbie to crochet, that you do need to skip the false stitch in some places, but not all of them. So you just, Jayda explains it all in the tutorial, so I'm not going to go overly in depth into it, but it is just something to be aware of. Now, Jayda in her tutorial, because she's done them as placemats for your, obviously your dinner plates. Jayda's measured 12 inches. She was using worsted weight yarn, which is the equivalent, so it's number 4 in the US, which is equivalent to Aran weight here in the UK. And she was using cotton yarn with a 5.5mm hook. Now I've done something different because we don't have a dinner table here to sit down at. So we do have a table that Spike's tank is on. That's our bearded dragon if you're new to the channel. And I just wanted a little decoration to go to sort of make it look the front of the table that he's on to look nicer. It would be a dinner table if his tank wasn't on there, but unfortunately we're limited with space, so that's where he sits. So this I've actually downsized basically. It's exactly the same, it's just a much smaller pattern. I'd say it's probably about 5 inches. I haven't actually measured it. I have used a 3.5mm hook. This hook was very kindly given to me by Katrina from Katrina's Creations. I really like her. She's put the polymer clay handles on. I really like those. I'm not a big fan of handle crochet hooks normally, but I really have got on very well with those. So if you've never heard of Katrina, I will link her channel down in the description. The yarn I've used was actually yarn which I have shown on the run up to Christmas. I think I did. I don't know, my brain's shot to bits at the moment, but I'm pretty sure I did. The gold yarn that I used for the angel, I know most of you will have seen that by now. This is the same yarn, it's just in a purple sparkle. It's a very thin yarn, as you can see, so it's a lot thinner than a DK. Trying to do it so you can see a bit better. So you can see it's got sparkle in it there. Now, Sian very kindly donated this to me. I did ask Sian permission on the run up to Christmas if I could use this for a personal project, which she very kindly agreed. So thanks very much, Sian. So I'm going to link her channel down in the description as well. yeah, so we think it's a king cole yarn, but we're not entirely sure because it doesn't have a ball band and Sian couldn't remember exactly. So we think it's a king cole yarn, but you could use any sparkle yarn. If you are going to use this pattern for your tableware, I would say use cotton. I'm not going to be putting anything heat based on this at all, or moisture based, so I haven't had to worry. I'll just be an ornament on it. So I can get away with using a different yarn. So it depends on what you're going to use this for, but if you are going to use anything that's got heat in it, like cups, plates, things of that description, or even if you've got something that's perhaps got water in it, I would recommend using a cotton yarn, A, because it's more heat resistant, and also because it's easier to wash than something like this. So that's my recommendation. So I'll link both Katrina's and Sian's channels down in the description as well. So thanks, Sian, for the yarn, and thank you for letting me do something different. I actually made this on the run up to Christmas, and I sort of finished it in the new year. So I had sort of intended for this to be part of the Christmas sort of theme, because it was, you know, sparkly and all that. But it was already made, and I thought I would share it with you guys, particularly because I haven't had much time to crochet over the last week. So that's where we're starting, something nice and simple, start to the year. So Jayda, if you're watching, great pattern as always, I loved it, and thank you, Sian, for the yarn. So the rest of the yarn will obviously still be used for my charity work, so it's not all, you know, I'm not using it all for selfish reasons. Now there is a channel shout out that I want to do. As many of you know, that I really enjoy helping new channels get going. My channel, trying to get over those first 100 subs was a nightmare. It took me well over a year. It was a hard slog, and it got easier once I made some YouTube friends. So people that very kindly shouted my channel out. My channel's grown as a result. There's so many of you that give me channel shout outs now that it's just thank you all if you've done it. You know who you are. So I like to give back in return. So we have this lady, her name is Ruth. She is actually one of my subscribers. She's been with me for a short while, and I found out this week that she is actually starting to do some videos. I think she's done some over the last month. I hadn't realised. I actually stumbled across it because she commented on one of Sian's videos from Sian's Crafty Corner, that she'd done the craft tag questions, which I obviously did in one of my recent videos, a couple of videos back. So I went across and had a look, and I've watched her craft tags questions, and she's done a really great job. So great job, Ruthie, if you're watching. So her channel is called Ruthie Pink Pumpkin. She's a new crocheter. I think she said she's been crocheting about a few months to a year, so she's still learning. So if you're a newbie and you want to learn along with somebody, then she's a great one. She's basically another show and tell channel so far. Of course, channels diversify and go off, so who knows where it'll lead us. So please go across and give her a sub, tell her that I sent you, and I hope you enjoy her channel. So that's a new one for you, because I know a lot of you like finding new channels, and it's all very exciting to watch somebody new and get to know them. She is based here in the UK, not anywhere near me unfortunately, but yeah, she's quite bubbly, so she's interesting to watch, so I highly recommend her. So I'm going to put her link for her channel down in the description as well, and probably on the end screens as well with the other two. So that's it for the craft bit. It's been a bit of a tricky video for me to do, just trying to get back in the swing of things after the last week's events basically. So life update. So if you're only here for the crochet bit, that's it for today, and we'll see. Next video will be up Tuesday or Wednesday as normal. Well, what is there to say? Obviously we are grieving, having lost, if you haven't seen my 2 update videos, we lost our chocolate Labrador and our Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Both had to be euthanized, and a difficult decision to make for both of them, but it was the right decision because they were both suffering. So We lost our chocolate lab Bella on Friday and our Cavalier called Charlie on Tuesday, so it's very close together. I don't really, until yesterday, I haven't really had time to even try and process it. Obviously I'm still very upset. I've kind of got to the point where I can't cry, which worries me when I get like that, because that's not always a good sign, but I think I'm okay. I think it's just shock at the minute. There was so much going on that I haven't I'm still trying to process what's happened. But since we lost Charlie, obviously we buried him the same day we lost him. We still have Bella's ashes to collect, which will be next week, we're expecting, we just don't know when. I'm planning to have some of Bella's ashes put into some jewellery so that she will be with me all the time. We didn't have that option with Charlie because obviously we've buried him in the garden, but because Bella was a big dog, the practicalities of digging a hole big enough, we just wouldn't have managed it, my mum and I. So we've had to have her cremated. So we've dug a hole and we're going to put the majority of her ashes next to Charlie, so they will be together in the garden at my mum's. But I am planning to have some of her ashes put in jewellery, so I'm looking at options. Some of them are very, very expensive, talking sort of £300–400 if you have them put in glass. I have found one that's resin, but you've got to be careful of heat and things, so I'm having to think about how I'm going to do this. So I've got some sort of difficult decisions in that respect to make over the next couple of days. So since we've lost Charlie on Tuesday, the following day, Wednesday, was both my mum's and my dad's birthday. My dad lives about 3–4 hours from me, so I don't get to see him on his birthday. But obviously we spent the day with my mum. She came over at lunchtime, we cooked her roast dinner, and she brought her youngest dog with her. Got some doggy cuddles, and I'm very grateful we've got him because it's helped ease the blow a little bit. And yeah, we just we did banners and balloons and the sort of thing that I normally would do. Felt a little bit odd, I think, for all of us, but I think my mum had as good a day as she could under the circumstances. My mum doesn't have much luck with her birthday. When I was newly married many years ago, divorced and happily so now, back in 1999, blimey, shows my age, my mum's dad, they were estranged. It's a very long story which I'm not going to go on to on the channel. He passed away on Christmas Eve, and his funeral was on her birthday. So my mum's track record for January isn't very good. We also lost my brother in January as well, so it's a very difficult time for my mum in particular. There's lots of anniversaries in January, so we've now got 2 more to add to the collection. But she had as good a day as she possibly could, which I'm thankful for. Thursday, I took my friend to see her dad, and he's got a dog as well who's elderly, so we spent a bit of time sort of being more aware of how things could be. Made a good fuss of him, and we spent about 2–3 hours with her dad, and then we popped in to my mum on the way back. My mum has packed Bella and Charlie's dog beds away, and it's very weird going in because everything feels quite empty and you're not getting mobbed when you come through the door. So there's lots of adjustments for both mum with her routine, because Charlie was diabetic. She had set things she had to do for insulin at set times and so on. So mum's having to readjust and find a new normal, and so am I and my friend. But all things considered, we're doing okay. So we popped in to see mum on the way back, spent a little bit of time with her. We've had some discussions about things that need sorting out within the home and the garden. So we are starting to look forward. And yeah, yesterday I just completely chilled out as much as able. Obviously I was looking after my friend. If you're new to the channel, I'm a full-time carer to my friend. So my life basically is my friend, crochet, YouTube, and my mum. and the dogs, and obviously our pets as well. So that's kind of how my life revolves around. So yeah, spent a little bit of time with Mum and came home. Yesterday we chilled out, just looked after my friend as much as I could, you know, so we did the basics, basically bathing, dressing, cooking dinner and all that sort of thing. Yeah, and I did do some crochet. I've noticed that my concentration is really not very good at all. And I'm doing something with the tapestry technique. We're using 2 colours, and I had to frog 2 rows back because I made a tiny mistake and it threw the whole pattern out. When you see the project you'll understand why. I'm hoping to have that project finished for Tuesday, but it is very slow going, so I'm not going to say what it is, because you may end up with something else, depending on what I get made on Sunday, because I'm recording this on Saturday. So I've kind of entered a period with the grief of a bit of numbness and shock. I've kind of all cried out for the time being. That's not to say there aren't the odd tears, but at the moment I'm kind of in that funny place. I think because we haven't fully been able to say the final goodbye to Bella, I think we're kind of in a bit of a limbo at the minute. But I'm okay. I just want to say thank you to all of you. It's rather ironic that the 2 videos about Bella and Charlie have had more views more quickly than any other video I've ever had, and I've certainly had more comments on those videos than I've ever had on any video. So it's been a bit bittersweet. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for all your comments, wishing me and my mum and my friend well, and you know, sharing. A lot of you have shared your own stories. Some of you have also recently lost furry friends, so if you're one of those people, my condolences. I know what you're going through. So just want to say thank you to all of you for your love and support. It really has helped me. I have read all the comments. I haven't responded yet. I obviously need to be in the right frame of mind to do that, because obviously I'm probably going to end up in tears as I'm replying. So I will reply to everybody. I do always try and reply to comments on the channel, but I'm sure you'll all appreciate it. I just need a few days to sort of continue processing. But I do really appreciate it. I have read every single comment, and just want to say thank you very much from me and my mum and my friend, because obviously it's affected her as well. We just want to say thank you very much for your love and support. You're all amazing. I did put those videos up a little bit tentatively, because I was a little bit worried how it would be received, because it wasn't crochet. But you guys have just completely took those fears away, and I just want to say thank you. I've had no negative response to those, and I'm very thankful for that. So thank you, everybody. There's people that I know watch me regularly that have even commented that perhaps wouldn't have normally done it. So thank you, everybody. I really, really do appreciate it. You've really helped me to keep going over the last few days, and to not feel so that, you know, for Mum and I in particular, and my friend, to just not feel so alone in the grief, if that makes sense. So thank you. There aren't really enough words to say how much you guys have helped me, so I do really, really appreciate it. So we're at a point now where next week obviously we've got to deal with Bella's ashes, and after that we have to look forward. Not that we're not doing that, but obviously it's a little bit of slight limbo at the minute. So we will be looking forward. Our main priority is for the 3 of us to stay healthy, and then get into the summer. We have things that we want to do in Mum's garden and things we need to sort out within the home. We've had lots of discussion, so it's positive that we can, you know, do some things to sort things out. Yeah, so next week will be more of a normal week for me and Mum and my friend, apart from picking up Bella's ashes and having to bury them. So life will hopefully start getting back to normal. I'm hoping that there's not going to be a third thing, because we all know that things can come in threes. So I'm hoping that that's it for my bad luck for the year. Yeah. The only thing I will say, I'm kind of thankful that Bella and Charlie are together. Charlie was very dependent on Bella, and I'm glad that he only sort of had 3-4 days without her. So you know, they're off in doggy heaven playing together as far as I'm concerned. So I'm kind of thankful for that. So sorry if it's still a bit raw. As you can appreciate, I'm not quite feeling my usual bubbly self. I'm getting there, but as you all know, grief is very tiring, so I'm very tired. My sleep's all over the place. I'm either crashing out because I'm exhausted, or I just can't get to sleep. So I'm kind of swinging both ways at the minute. So but that's all part of the grief process. That's it. I'm hoping next week will be a little bit more upbeat. It's probably going to take me a couple of weeks to get back into the full flow of doing the channel. So if you're new, just bear with me. It is what it is. Unfortunately, life happens, and unfortunately with YouTube, life happens around that, and we just have to adapt and work with it. So I will start my normal schedule next week of 2 uploads. I had planned to do 2 this weekend, but I think I was just overstretching myself, so I'm going to just do this video and look after myself, and then do the 2 normal videos. So one in sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, and then one at the weekend. That's the plan. So yep, that's it moving forward. So I'm going to finish here. Again, thank you everybody. So until next time, remember to stay well, happy crafting, and until next time, remember to stay true to yourself. Bye.